Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the all-time great shows, but unfortunately, it's a property that has been abused by some truly evil scoundrels over the years. There's been a complete failure and an insult to its legacy in a live-action movie that M. Night Shyamalan directed over a decade ago. There's been a handful of unforgivably trash games, even as recently as a month ago, with something called Quest for Balance, which is a $50 super stinker that was shat out from the rancid, vile bowels of Game Mill. It's more torturous than a saw trap. The goddamn Brazen Bull was more humane form of punishment than playing Avatar Quest for Balance. And when Netflix unveiled a few years back that they were going to be trying again for a live-action Avatar, a lot of people rolled their eyes and wet their pants, going to bed very concerned and scared because no one that's a fan of Avatar wants a repeat of the 2010 movie that M. Night Shyamalan made. Yesterday, the trailer finally dropped for it, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if it was going to be a blessing or a curse. And I feel as though I'm the only one qualified to opine on the quality of a live-action Avatar because I believe I'm the only person on this fucking planet to see the 2010 live-action Last Airbender movie multiple times. I exposed myself to more radiation than fucking Chernobyl ever was by watching this movie multiple times. I made a whole video on it breaking it down. It is abhorrent. You can really feel the hate that M. Night Shyamalan has for the property. In every single shot, there's just this miasma of agony that is just oozing out of the film. It's something truly special. So I honestly don't think there's a single dimension in the multiverse where the Netflix Avatar would somehow be worse than the 2010 movie. You couldn't try to make it that bad. They couldn't even pronounce Aang's name correctly in that movie. They called him Ong. So I'm happy to rejoice Avatar fans, that the Netflix trailer for Avatar live action is pretty good. It's certainly better than the 2010 movie. I know it's a low bar to set, but it clears that for sure. It does seem like they have a team together behind it that cares. I did enjoy it. Now, I do want to dive in a bit more in depth on my feelings about this project going forward. I am still a bit skeptical on how good it's going to turn out. Many of you might not remember this, but 3 years ago, the creators of Avatar: The Last Airbender actually walked away from the live-action project, citing some creative differences internally that they couldn't reconcile. So that makes me a little concerned because they're not going with the creator's vision, and their vision is the one that led to one of the most iconic cartoons ever made. That usually doesn't bode well. Now get out your pen and paper because I'm going to take you to class real quick. Let's cite a very recent example here. The success of the live-action One Piece. A production I thought was doomed for failure. I was bah-humbogging about that bad boy for many moons. I didn't think you could take an anime and translate it to live action successfully. I was wrong. And one of the main reasons why I was so wrong is because I didn't realize how involved the creator of One Piece, Oda, was in the production of the live action. And it's very clear that that was the biggest difference maker. You can feel Oda's presence throughout the entirety of the live action One Piece in order to steer the ship properly and make a very good show that stands on its own two legs even outside of the One Piece anime. So people that have never seen the anime still really like the live action. For example, Danny. Danny never watched the anime, he loved the live action, and it got him into the anime, which is something I didn't even know would be possible. So clearly having the creator of the property you're adapting involved is extremely important. Stand back, I'm dunking from the free throw line with this next example I'm dropping on you here. Live action Cowboy Bebop from Netflix. The live action Cowboy Bebop is an absolute disaster, a fucking full-blown Category 5 catastrophe of a show. And guess what? The creator of Cowboy Bebop was not involved in the production of it in any way, shape, or form. And look at how it turned out. It is horrible. That piece of garbage is so foul, if I took a shit on it, my poop would be embarrassed to be on top of it. It is bad. So the fact that here, the creators of Avatar threw their hands up and said, "Bye-bye, pussies, we're not doing this, we're out," is a little concerning, because it makes me nervous with the direction that they're going to take this. Like, this could turn into some kind of fucking sci-fi show. They might try and make this Stranger Things, but with airbending. Like, who knows? So, while I do think the trailer is fine, like, it looks good, I'm still nervous. Another thing I've talked about a lot on stream, and I still firmly stand by this, if you're just taking a animated show, Avatar in this case, and translating it one-to-one to live action, it feels worthless. You already have a beautiful piece of animation that tells an incredible story. Taking that and then just putting a new coat of paint on it just doesn't really seem to do much. Kind of like Lion King, where they took the Lion King animation and then turned it into a pseudo live action movie with the CGI Lion King, which is basically just the same movie, but with CGI instead of, 2D. And it's fucking worthless. Like that, it's entirely worthless. I don't think it adds any value. It's just a cash grab. So if that's the direction they're going, it wouldn't exactly be the most satisfying thing in the world just to see the cartoon I already love being played out again, but with real people. It's not going to enhance it. Like, things that you can do in the animated medium simply cannot be done well in the live action medium, period. The reason One Piece, for example, works so well in the live action and the anime is the One Piece live action is pretty different from the anime. It goes, of course, down the similar story beats, but it executes everything differently, and it breathes new kind of life into One Piece that wasn't necessarily there in the same episodes that it was adapting from the anime. So Oda being there and recognizing that just going one-to-one with it's not exactly going to hit the same way, changed it a little bit and made it really enjoyable. Now, of course, the show hasn't premiered yet. It's not out. I'm just speculating. Maybe they don't just go one-to-one with it, though the trailer makes me believe they are going to try and do a lot of exactly the same stuff from the cartoon into the live action, but maybe they're just doing that to show that they actually do have a passionate team behind there. That's entirely possible. It's not out yet, so I don't know exactly what the direction is. I'm just stating that I'm still a bit concerned knowing that the actual creators of the show left the project over creative differences. That's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. But it could still turn out great. I hope it turns out great. I don't want another bad Avatar live action. That would suck some serious shit. So, that's my full thoughts on that. I do also want to briefly mention something that's really flown under the radar, unfortunately. Netflix also released the teaser trailer for the live-action YuYu Hakusho, and I haven't seen anyone talk about that yet. This is something I was extremely skeptical on being good in any capacity because Netflix adaptions, for the most part, are huge fucking misses. Aside from very rare exceptions like One Piece, they don't do a great job of it. So when I saw they announced live-action Yu Hakusho like a year or two ago, I immediately just wrote it off, rolled my eyes, and said, yep, that's going to be turbo ass. And now that they've released the trailer, I can comfortably say, maybe there's a chance. Like, I'm shocked to say it, but there might be a chance that this is pretty good. I didn't outright hate the trailer. I think it's very rough around the edges, but it's a teaser first and foremost, so it's not like they showed a ton. But what they did show, I thought was fine. CG is a little wonky in a couple of the scenes there, but that's to be expected. I kind of like the direction they seem to be going. It's kind of taking characters that you don't see until the Dark Tournament saga and bringing them into the fold much earlier. And it piques my curiosity. It piques my curiosity on how they're going to handle that and what the direction they're going with the story is. It could be pretty decent. Like the couple of the fight scenes they showed, like the choreography looked kind of hype. So who knows? I thought that had no chance, was doomed to failure, but it really wasn't like alarmingly trash or anything like that. Not in my opinion. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly shout that out there because, man, what if Netflix is actually getting it together and releasing like some banger adaptations? That'd be fucking incredible. So yeah, anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.